Have you ever wondered why black people, Africans and African Americans rather, are the only ones who are called descendants of how they were oppressed? I mean, why is it like that? Well, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, then please subscribe, like, and feel free to be part of our interesting conversations by simply commenting your thoughts in the comment section down below. Now, today we look into a thought-provoking topic that challenges the labels that people use. I recently came across this video where a passionate individual, particularly a black man. So in this video, a brother is urging people to rethink how they refer to Africans and African Americans. Why is it that people often identify Africans and African Americans by the history of their oppression, but it's never like that with others? Why is it like that? Now, he gives 3 important reasons why people should stop calling Africans as descendants of slaves. So let's explore the 3 compelling reasons he presents and open up a conversation about breaking free from these labels. So get ready for a thought-provoking journey where we question the norms and challenge perspectives. Let's dive in. I will be right back.
Black people are not the descendants of slaves. Here are 3 reasons why you sound corny when you say that. I'm Brother Legend and I'm here to raise your consciousness. The first reason is Africans brought to America were never slaves. They were enslaved people. Calling them slaves robs them of their humanity and reduces their identity to their second-class social status. Freedom cannot be given or taken. It can only be failed to be recognized. Enslaved people were free people whose freedom was not acknowledged by their oppressor. Number 2 is no people on earth are ever called descendants of how they were oppressed. You don't call Palestinians descendants of the Nakba. You don't call Jewish people descendants. You don't call Native Americans descendants of the Trail of Tears. But why are we the descendants of slavery? Reminder, this is people we're talking about. And the third reason it's corny is because the reason they tell you you're a descendant of slavery is because they don't want to tell you you're a descendant of Africa. All throughout the world, the proper name of a people relates to land, history, and culture going back thousands of years. Those ships did not bring foundational black Americans, descendants of slaves, or even black people. It brought Africans. But a people without knowledge of their history is like a tree without roots. You cannot subjugate a people that know where they're from.
Good morning, my TikTok fam. Listen, I wanted to stitch this video, and I wanted to stitch this video to go further into what he was saying. Listen, I stitched a video of a young lady who was saying that if you are black and you were born here, then you are the descendants of slaves. Wrong. And this video just proves even further that I was right. You are the descendants of Africans if you are African American or Black American. You are the descendants of Africans. Because think about it, before your people were put into shackles, they were farmers, warriors, they were mine workers, they were healers, teachers. They had ordinary jobs, and they were living their lives in wherever part they were living in Africa. And just imagine somebody you don't know beating you, dragging you, and putting chains on you, making you walk miles and miles and miles, and then putting you into a holding unit until a ship came, took you and people that you may or may not have known from different villages and packing y'all on a ship. And then the ship is going for months and months on end to different parts of the world, dropping off people that you may know and that you may never see them again, to lands to work for the rest of your life. That's what happened. So these people were not slaves. They were people that lived everyday lives like we're doing now. So when you say that the descendants of slave, that's incorrect. They were enslaved people. You're not the descendants of slaves. You're the descendants of Africans who were enslaved.
Now, in the heart of this insightful video, a brother passionately dismantles the notion of labeling Africans or African Americans solely as descendants of slavery. Now, his first powerful argument challenges people to recognize the rich tapestry of diverse cultures and histories that make up the African continent. By doing so, he prompts people to move beyond a singular narrative and embrace the multitude of stories that define the vibrant heritage. Next, he delves into the impact of such labels on identity and self-perception. Now, this video sheds light on the danger of reducing reducing individuals to a single historical event, emphasizing the need to acknowledge achievements, contributions, and the resilience that goes beyond the shadows of oppression. Now, the third compelling point raises the question why people define others by their historical struggles. So let's now get into looking at the 3 points he brought out. Now, in his first point, a brother compellingly asserts that the Africans brought to America were never inherently slaves. Instead, they were individuals with distinct identities, cultures, and histories before being subjected to enslavement. Now, by referring to them merely as slaves, they have stripped away the complexity of their humanity, reducing them to a single dehumanizing label. Now, unveiling this historical perspective challenges people to acknowledge the resilience and strength of the people who carried with them rich legacies, languages, and traditions. The video invites people to reframe their language, recognizing the depth of identity that existed before the dark chapter of enslavement. Now, it's a powerful call to restore dignity and humanity, especially to those who were unjustly stripped of it, fostering a more accurate and respectful understanding of their journey. Now, we're talking about individuals who had thriving civilizations, cultural practices, and diverse backgrounds long before they were forcibly brought to America. So by acknowledging their pre-existing identities, the video prompts us to view the journey through a lens that goes beyond the oppressive narrative. Now, a brother also challenges the traditional narrative that starts the history of Africans with their arrival in America. He urges people to recognize the strength and resilience that carried them through the brutality of enslavement while emphasizing the need to restore the fullness of their stories. Now, in doing so, this would not only correct a historical misrepresentation, but also honor the depth and complexity of their heritage, fostering a more inclusive understanding of African and African American history. Now, in the second point, a brother draws attention to the ways in which Africans or African Americans are often labeled as descendants of their oppression, a distinction not commonly applied to other communities. Let's note that. Now, by highlighting examples such as Palestinians not being called descendants of the Nakba, it is true Jewish people are not being labeled as descendants of the Holocaust, and Native Americans are not identified as descendants of the Trail of Tears. Why should Africans be the only ones who are called descendants of slaves? Now, this video prompts us to question the consistency in how historical narratives are framed. This thought-provoking observation should challenge people to reflect on the impact of such labels and the potential for perpetuating stereotypes. We need a more equitable and unbiased approach, encouraging people to reconsider the language that they use and the implications it carries for different communities. This will foster a more inclusive and sensitive discourse surrounding historical experiences and their lasting effects on Africans. This has really had a lasting impact on Africans. Now, why is it that only one group is singled out as descendants of their oppression while omitting similar labels for others? This selective use of language not only perpetuates a skewed narrative, but also contributes to the perpetuation of stereotypes and biases. This video has really made me question why certain communities are not defined by their past traumas in the same way. I mean, this message should challenge people to embrace a more universal and empathetic approach in recognizing the complexities of each community's history. I feel if this is done, then they can contribute to breaking the circle of an equal representation and foster a narrative that honors the resilience and multifaceted identities of all people, irrespective of their historical struggles. Now, inclination to label Africans or African Americans as descendants of slavery, is it perhaps as a means to divert attention from to acknowledge their rich African heritage? I mean, this perspective should challenge us to confront the discomfort associated with embracing the full scope of Africans' ancestral roots. By highlighting the hesitancy to recognize African ancestry and the implications of such avoidance, the video encourages us to question the motives behind perpetuating a narrative that centers solely on the period of enslavement. Why are they always centering on the period of enslavement? It also prompts us to reconsider the importance of acknowledging and celebrating the diverse cultures and histories that span the vast, vibrant continent of Africa. This profound insight challenges every African to reclaim and proudly embrace their complete heritage, fostering a more accurate and empowering understanding of our shared history. We have come to the end of the video. What do you, my viewers, have to say about this? Share your views in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching and see you in my next video.